Hi, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at line types for task 5. We're going to be learning how to use a new tool today, and that is a simple ruler. It's something we've probably used lots of times before, but we're going to learn how to use it in the world of graphics. But first of all, let's look at the different line types. The first line we're going to look at is construction lines. These lines are thin and light. They should barely be able to be seen by anyone other than yourself doing the drawing. The second sort of line is dimension lines. We use these lines to highlight the length of an object we've drawn, and we have an arrow at both ends. You'll also note that the number is written in the middle and there's no units, and that's because the units we use in graphics are always millimetres. Always millimetres. Let's look at some other lines now. We have some visible outlines. These are the outlines, these are what we put round the object once we've drawn it. So we do our drawings initially in construction lines, really light lines. We put all the data down, and then we outline it to make the size and the shape of the object stand out. The next one we're going to consider is a centre line. This is a line that you'd get in the middle of a circle or a curved edge, and it signifies where the centre is, and it's dash, dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, and so forth. We'll see how to draw them in a few moments. And the last line we're going to consider are hidden lines. These are lines that show data that you can't see up on the surface. This is the hidden information that lies behind the top surface that you've drawn. And again, we draw them dash, space, dash, but all of the spaces and the dashes are the same size, and they're all approximately 5mm. So there are the different sizes that we're going to look at. So we're now going to look at our task. So task number 5. It's asking us to practice to draw the 5 different line types that we've got down below. So the first one was a construction line, and just as a reminder, this is a thin line that's drawn very lightly. So I'm going to take my ruler, using my left hand, because I'm right-handed. I'm going to hold it down, and I'm going to bring it across. I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to go across this way till I get to here. So nice and light. If you notice, I'm pulling my pencil nice and light across the page. Nice and light. That for me is quite a dark line, but that's so you can see it. I'm now going to do one that I'd normally do. So this is what I would expect you to do. A nice light line. I can see that line, but you can see in the camera it's quite hard to see. So this is what I would expect you to do. 2 light lines, roughly the same length, where you pull your pencil across the page. Almost the weight of the pencil is making the line. You shouldn't have to press down hard at all. So that's how to do your construction line. The next line we're going to do is a dimension line, and again it's a thin light line with closed arrows on either end, and you give the size. So on my page I have quite a big page here, yours is a bit smaller. I'm going to do mine 100 long. I'm going to start here using just the weight of the pencil, pull it across to 100, and then I'm going to add my arrowheads on both ends. And then I'm going to write 100 in the middle, above the line. Not on the line, but above the line. And I'm going to draw another one, a different size this time. I'm going to go for 120. So again, nice and light, pulling it across to the end, then add on the arrowheads. 1, 2, 0. So that's the first 2 lines. Let's give it a go, and then we'll return. Welcome back. Let's have a go at doing a couple of visible lines now. And visible lines are the lines that we put round the shape that we've drawn over the construction lines. So for me, I'm going to just place my hand down again, support the ruler so it doesn't move, take my pencil, and this time I'm going to press a wee bit heavier as I go. A wee bit slower and heavier to 10 where it's 100mm long again. Then I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to pick 120 because that's what I did a moment ago. So I'm just going to do 120. Here we go, right along. I can see where to stop, and stop at 120. That's my two visible lines. The next line we're going to do is a centre line, where we have dash, dot, dash, dot. This time I'm going to do it for roughly the same distance, 100mm, and I'm going to do 5, wee dot, 5, wee dot in the next 5, 5, wee dot, 5, wee dot roughly in the middle, 5. Do you see the pattern that I'm doing now? Dot, 5. I'm going to pause the video and zoom in just for a second for you. So you can now see clearly what I'm doing. Dot roughly in the middle, then in between the 5, between here and the mid mark, 5, wee dot, 5, dot, 5, dot. I'm getting close to the end of my 10. In fact, I'm going to go just past it, just so it's a closed line. We'd never stop just in a dot, we'd always have a full solid line there. Now I can repeat it again. I'm going to do it again very quickly. If I take more time, I'll be able to do it clearly. I'm going to stop there and continue, but why don't you give it a go now? And when we return, we're going to look at hidden lines. Hidden lines are for hidden data, the stuff that we can't see, the stuff that's behind the surface, but we still know is there and we want to tell someone about. So to do them, what we do is we start at 0 again and go along to 5mm, space for 5mm, along 5mm, space for 5. I'm going to do that pattern the whole way along until I get to 10. Like so. I'm going to stop in a second and let you do the last one all by yourself. Please continue and do the next one and we'll catch up straight after. So just as a recap, we have learned how to draw 5 different types of lines for orthographic drawing. We have our construction lines that are very light. I rubbed mine out and redid it, so it's more the weight that I would normally do. We have dimension lines with arrows at either end and the size clearly above the middle point. We have visible lines, which are obviously a lot heavier than the rest. We have centre lines, which is dash, dot, dash. And we have hidden lines for the hidden data that you can't see but you want to tell someone about, which is dash, space, dash, space. That's the 5 lines that we've been learning today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.